Gotham, 2 changes from the scoreless draw last week against Washington.
Yeah, no doubt, and Katrine Berger will get everything going, playing out from the back. I expect Maddie Freeman to be really good down this right-hand side.
No changes from their win against North Carolina last week.
That makes sense. I think against the North Carolina Courage, they got quite lucky in the end. I think you make your own luck in football, though, and it's a really good result for them. I think, Natalie Jacobs, we're looking to kind of travel out with the ball a little bit more. Paige Nielsen will provide that cover. Danny Colaprico as well, being able to kind of be that pivot player. Van Santen has been excellent since after the break. But again, Yasmin Ryan is that player that they have to find a way to get her on the ball. Can she play the right? Is she playing on the left? Is she playing centrally? Wherever she is, I think Julianne being up front with her as well, in a 2, will help her a little bit more defensively.
Well, Houston trying to pull off a victory on the road. 4 points in the last 2 games for the Dash. Elijo Eriguin is our center referee. And Katrin Berger talking to her side, Gotham. This Gotham team unbeaten through the last 4 games. Last loss was June 7th, that before the summer break against Kansas City. And Yasmin Ryan standing over the ball. Orange kits for Houston on the road, black kits at home for Gotham FC, and we are underway here at Sports Illustrated Stadium. After the 88th minute in a row, the first time was to earn a point in the previous match against Bay.
One of the questions I asked him on our call this week was that, does he feel like they're getting closer to kind of playing the type of football that he would like? Because I think there's been periods of time where, he took Jane Campbell out of the lineup, Paige Nielsen came out of the lineup, Abby Smith went in there. Big decisions, because those players are kind of like mainstays on this team. And I still feel like they're still finding their way. It's almost like, if you look at this Houston Dash team, what are their non-negotiables?
Real, up to Esther. Headed down by Nielsen, crashing in his Stengel. Stengel moves to her right. Lavelle, just outside the 18, shoots, Rose Lavelle off the post. Portillo, Esther scores! Relentless for Gotham. Make it 11 goals for the Spanish international.
Katie Stengel picks up the ball here, does a really good job to play it off to Rose Lavelle. And there's only one thing in Rose Lavelle's mind. As soon as she cuts inside, it's a great strike. Jane Campbell's got no chance. Portillo does a really good job at keeping it alive. And Esther, the fox in the box, puts it in the back of the net from 7 yards out. She doesn't miss from there. Great finish. Well done, Gotham.
It feels like Esther is always in the right spot for this Gotham team. Created by all the heavy hitters. And the fans love it here in Harrison, New Jersey. Early against Ann-Katrin Berger. Those 13 shutouts since the start of last year with Gotham. From Ryan, and no problem for Berger.
That's a poor ball from Yasmin Ryan in that moment. I thought she was getting heated. Didn't like the fact what Emily Sonnet did, but that was a poor ball.
Some gamesmanship there from Sonnet. Real, Esther. Served up from Esther with her left foot. It drops down for Rose Lavelle, who shoots. She's been close twice now.
Higher, Katie, higher.
It's bumped around Stengel.
That is great pressure from Katie Stengel in that position. That's exactly, if you had a DNA of what a One Carlos Amoros team does, that is it. Pressing from the front, everybody pressing together, nice and compact, and picking their moments of when to go to goal. We haven't really seen them do that this year. One Carlos Amoros speaks a lot about the amount of rookies they've got in comparison to last year. A lot of players left, there's been a lot of turnover.
Julian. Clean takeaway, Real. Off the switch here, Portillo takes a shot, and it skips to Campbell.
When Jane Campbell's got the ball and she's taking a goal kick, it's almost like they don't know where to go. And then she forces it long, and then it comes straight back at them. It's almost like the ideas, it's like not getting through to the players on the field of play.
Well, Houston has a lot to discuss as we near the halftime break.
I had a lot of hope for this Houston Dash team this year, Maura. They were actually my team that I said they were ones to watch before the season, because I think the amount of players they brought in the off-season, Yasmin Ryan, Delaney Sheehan, then they brought over Lisa Bertin from Juventus as well, one of my former teammates, another Italian coming into the league. So they have made, you know, signings and decisions, but it just hasn't really clicked yet.
Nice move, Rose Lavelle, surging forward, Perchio shoots, and she's just off with it. Would have been beautiful.
Look at this play here. It's fantastic. Look at the touch. Oh, wow. This is what makes her such a special player. When she's fit and healthy, like, she's on a completely different level. Look at this again. Love that. Brilliant play. And she didn't have much space to be able to do that as well. And then plays a lovely little ball.
Katra looking on. Lavelle off the service. Rio heads it forward. Campbell off the snag here. Wants to get something going for Houston. Sheehan. Howell does well. Steps two. Off of Sane Ryan. Well, that takes us to the end of the first half. Now Bright replaces Julian. And that's a change for Houston. As we start this second half.
Does relatively well. She's trying her best to try and get the ball out of her feet. Jess Carter did well to recover, but the Houston Dashers don't get numbers around the ball quick enough. Messiah Bright has offered something very, very different since coming into this game, just stretching the field.
And it's a goal! A mistake for Gotham! An own goal! And just a true mishap, a miscommunication that is so rare with this Gotham defense.
Katrine Berger, you just almost have to laugh, not because it's funny, but laugh because it's like you just can't quite believe it. I mean, I was quite surprised that Emily Sonnet was going back there in that moment as well. Messiah Bright, Van Santen. Wow, and this is an example of, we used to get taught on my national team to make sure you set the ball back out of the width of the goal, because if the ball does go under the goalkeeper's legs, there was nothing Katrine Berger can do in that situation. I really feel for Emily Sonnet.
Ryan. Campbell. Less than a minute to go in this one. Rio. Berger. Curls up for Jacobs. Schmidt. Buntigam. Alozie for Houston. Alozie shoots. She scores! Houston! Another one in stoppage time!
From Alozie. Fantastic little ball. Puntigam does really well here, and it's all about the first touch for me. Real is the wrong side of Alozie. Football, soccer could be so cruel sometimes, because Gotham, for me, have been the better team, similarly to last week when they played against the Courage Houston, but it is what it is. They've taken their chances, and this is a great strike from Alozie. Fantastic, and talk about timing of the goal. The game's over.
Lesson learned in the NWSL, you cannot let the Houston Dash hang around. This is 3 straight games with a goal. Van Zanten. There's the final whistle. How about that? Houston Dash